The elves and the shoemaker. There once lived a man. He was a shoemaker. He worked hard, but the time was tough, like these corona times. So he made less and less money. One day he had just enough money to buy the leather for only a pair of shoes. So he bought the leather and cut it out and put it on the workbench next to the tools for the next day's work. He had supper, went to bed. When he got up, he went to workbench to finish the shoes. But he couldn't believe his eyes. There was no cut-out leather. Instead, there was a new pair of shoes. Amazing, beautiful shoes. He put it on the window, and soon a customer coming by came in, bought the new shoes with good price. So the shoemaker could buy the leather for 2 pairs of shoes. So he bought the leather and cut it out and put it on the workbench for the next day's work. And he had supper, went to bed. The next day he got up and went to the workbench. Again, instead of the cut-out leather, there were 2 pairs of shoes. So he put the new shoes on the window. Soon the customers came in and they wanted the new shoes. They paid good price. So the shoemaker now could buy the leather for 4 pairs of shoes. So he bought the leather and he cut it out all day. Then put them on the workbench for the next day's work. And he had supper. He went to bed. He got up next morning. The same thing happened day after day. So now the poor shoemaker is no more worried about the money. He had a comfortable life. Then the time was coming to Christmas. So his good wife said to the shoemaker, "Husband, tonight we should not go to bed. We have to wait and see who is helping us. We have to find out." So they hid behind the door and they waited and waited until the church bell struck 12 times. Then, out of nowhere, 2 little men jumping onto the workbench. They had short hair, but they were naked. But they picked up the tools and started to make shoes. Quickly and skillfully, they completed the shoes. Then they disappeared. So the good wife said to the shoemaker, "Husband, it's elves. They are helping us." "Oh, thank you. But the poor things, they are naked in this cold winter day. We should do something for them." "I have an idea. I will make clothes for them. You make them the new shoes." So the shoemaker and his wife started to make clothes and shoes for the little elves. The wife made little socks and underwear, pants, shirts, coat, very little. And the husband made 2 pairs of new shoes, very little. And they put the clothes and shoes on the workbench instead of the cut-out leather. And it's Christmas Eve. They waited and waited behind the door. And when the church bell struck 12 times, You know, the little man jumped onto the workbench, and now their eyes wide open, they saw the clothes and shoes instead of the cutout leather. They knew it's the gift from the shoemaker and his wife. So they were so happy, and they pulled on the socks and underwear and put on the pants and shirts and coat, and they put in the new shoes, and they were so happy. So they sang and danced on the workbench. They turned around. Hey, la 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 la. They danced and danced and they danced out of the door and disappeared. After that day, they never returned. But the shoemaker and his good wife lived happily and prosperously ever after.